Salutations! Welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I am doing the tag about the queen of all time, Jennifer Lawrence. This tag was created by someone. I will link that in the description box. I never do my research for these things. Questions are based off of events in Jennifer Lawrence's life, so let's get started. Question number 1. Growing up in Kentucky, your favorite book in a rural area? I have quite an unconventional answer, and that is the entire Underland Chronicles by Suzanne Collins. This is not set rurally in terms of the countryside, but this is set below the streets of New York City, so obviously there are only a few thousand citizens there and not many people know about it, so I would say that's pretty rural. There are giant cockroaches and rats and bats and everything is just so wonderful, and while I would most definitely not want to be on the bad side of people here, it is a really fun world. Question number 2. Discovery on the Streets of New York, a little known book that you found while browsing and ended up loving. This book is actually one I only have in digital form, and that is How to Say Goodbye by Amber Lynn. This is a self-published novel by Amber Lynn, and I read this for a blog tour. Question number 3. Swearing off social media, a book you refuse to read. The number 1 book I will never, ever read is Public Enemies, the sequel to Mortal Danger by Anne Aguri. I will never read this. Oh my god. I read Enclave by Anne Aguri. I have it signed by Anne Aguri, and it was pretty good. I'm planning on picking up the sequels, but Mortal Danger killed me. It was the worst book I read in 2014, and I struggled through 386 pages of pure torture. And I will not be picking up Public Enemies if you paid me $1 million, because it would take me 1,000,000 days to read it. That's how bad Mortal Danger was in my opinion. End of rant. Question number 4. Beginnings on TV into film, a series that gets better with each installment. The series that gets better with each installment has to be the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, starting off with The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and then Heir of Fire. The first book I didn't like that much. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I respected it and I wanted to keep reading, but in no way was it my favorite series of all time. The Assassin's Blade changed my opinion a lot, and I really enjoyed Selena's backstory. Crown of Midnight was even better than Throne of Glass, and I loved the way it progressed. But Heir of Fire just took the cake, and it was my second favorite book of 2014, if you haven't seen that video. I love this entire series. I love Sarah J. Maas. I'm projecting that the Queen of Shadows will be even better. Question number 5. The Oscar Trip, a book/series that hit a snag. This most definitely has to go to The Unwind Duology by Neil Shusterman. I read, adored, and loved Unwind and Unholy, which is the first and second book in the series. Unsold, I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. It nearly killed me. I'm still planning on reading Undivided someday, which is the 4th and final book in the quartet, but it's hit a serious snag. I gave the second book 5 stars, and I loved the first with 4 stars, but oh my god, the third was just so bad. Question number 6. Jlaw and Chris Martin, favorite book by a collaboration of authors. These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, which is in fact signed and personalized to me. I got the chance to meet and talk to these lovely authors, and they're just a wonderful collaboration. I could not tell it was written by 2 different people, and that's obviously what makes it so good. Question number 7. Work with David O. Russell, dysfunctional character you can't help but love. The character I chose for this question isn't dysfunctional in the classic way, but that is Bianca Piper from The Duff by Cody Keplinger. She makes a lot of decisions that probably aren't the best in her life. Luckily they end up being ones that lead to positive outcomes, maybe not positive decisions, but I love her personality and her cynicism and just the way that she blatantly says, here I am, life, take me as I am, let's move on. Question number 8, Mystique, a villain who thinks they're doing what's right. The villain that thinks they're in the right is from The Young Elites by Murray Liu, and this is none other than, obviously, Adelina Amauturu. I cannot pronounce things to save my life. This entire trilogy is going to be told from the villain Adelina's point of view, and I think this is extremely interesting of a decision because she doesn't seem like the villain at first, but Murray Liu said that as we progress throughout the series, it's about her spiral into darkness, and most definitely she will be doing evil and bad things, and I'm pretty sure the series won't end well for Adelina. Question number 9, The Hunger Games, favorite high-profile series. One of my favorite high-profile series, I was going to say The Hunger Games, and I was going to say Legend, but I chose The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare because in terms of on BookTube, this is the most hyped-up series ever. I love it so much. I read the entire thing in 2014, loved it. The Clockwork Princess made it onto my top 14 in 2014, and it's overall just a wonderful, wonderful trilogy. It lives up to the hype. Believe me, I am a very hard reader to please. Question number 10, everything she's ever said. Favorite comedic / snarky character. My favorite comedic / snarky character is one from my most recent read, and that is Dean Holder from The Hopeless Duology. I'm going to call it a duology by Colleen Hoover. This is a really, really quick thing, but the entire novel, for the first 75% of it, I read his name as Holden. Because I've never heard of a character named Holder, and my brain would just not believe that his name was Holder, so I read it as Holden the entire time. Anyways, he is so snarky and sarcastic, and I love his relationship with Sky. He appears to be in the very beginning as a bad boy, but he ends up not really being that what we think he is, and he's just so funny, and he matches Sky's cynicism perfectly, and he seems a lot like Wesley Rush, but in a much older new adult kind of novel. I'll link in the comments below who I tagged for this because I'm not sure who I tagged yet, and if you don't want to make a video, you can link in the comments below what your answers are, and if you haven't been tagged for this but you want to be tagged, I tag you! Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Keep calm and read on. Goodbye! But this is set in this is set in this below. These series that gets want to know my answers. And if
Cynicism?
And if
Cynicism.
What?
Cynicism.
I said cynicism.
You said cynicism.
No, I didn't.
Why don't you check your little recording and we'll find cynicism.
Anyways, cynicism